tuning in. You're watching Christian Adventure Gamer. I'm your host, Daniel the Paladin. In this video, I'm going to be starting off painting the miniatures that come in the Scooby-Doo, the board game. I didn't know if there was any other title to it. I couldn't remember. And so I'm using some brand new paintbrushes I actually got at Gen Con. This is done by Chronicle RPG Accessories. So it's like www.chronicle.cards is their website. So I'll try this. And then also my wife got me, or my kids and my wife, got me this paintbrush cleaner for Father's Day. I'm going to give that a spin. So basically what it is that you fill this tank up with water, and it fills a reservoir, and I'm hoping that it stops and it doesn't keep filling it up. It looks like it stopped, because I hate for it to leak over, but then there's a little button you press, and it releases all the water, and then it refills it. So I'm going to try that. So for starting off, I'm going to be painting the clown here, the ghost clown. So I have his card here, somewhere. Here. So this isn't exactly what it might look like on the cartoon. I've kind of been looking at those colors. And so I'm going to see what color, based on what the internet shows, the original cartoon. So it looks like it's pretty close. Like the hat looks black to match the front of his outfit, whereas on the picture the hat looks like a gray. So I think maybe I'll go to YouTube and look up an episode of the Scooby-Doo with the ghost clown. So according to what I'm looking at here, his face is almost like a grayish, palish white. His outfit looks red. So there's some things there obviously going to be changing up. And so here is the miniature that I'm going to be painting. I'm trying to do it as center as I possibly can, so you can see me, but I'm going to paint the hat black and the front of this black, and then I'm going to do the rest, right? So I'm going to need something to put my paint into. So I'm going to start off with the black, because there's very little black on him. So his eyes, right around his eyes, there's black, and the front of his outfit is black, and then obviously the top of his hat. So I'll just do this straight black. And I know his eyes are white, so I'll have to go back over with white later. A few different angles I can do with the camera. I'm not too concerned if I make a mistake here, because I can obviously fix it later. So and then his hat. Trying to get underneath the hat as close as I can to the scalp, or the hair, right? And then now I can start to paint the hat. These brushes do feel very nice in my hand, so that's a good. Now, obviously, when it comes to paintbrushes, you want them to make it. You like, the more comfortable it is in your hand, the better it is, because it's almost like, you're not using a whole lot of energy to hold on to it, to grip it. So there's that. All right. Let's get the front of his costume. And I went with a white primer to help make the other brighter colors pop more, because a darker or a black primer will cause the undertone, right, to be darker. And so if you use a white primer, you will actually bring out the colors more. There we go. Make sure to get it. Alright, so that is all black there. And so I want to see if I can't get this. Interesting. It's actually doing what I was hoping it would do. There's like little ridges around the edge of this cup here. Little ridges right here. And when I do this, it gets the paint off. It's swirling in there a bit, but then it's like I don't want to do too much damage to the bristles of the brush. So it's kind of neat. I don't have to like submerge the whole thing in water, obviously. And then if I want fresh water, I just press this button down. Alright, so that guy gets some more black on his hat. Just like that. Now I can do the red of his outfit. I got this flat red. I'll see how that looks on him. I just remembered that I have this miniature holder for painting from Cobalt Keep, and so, or Heap, Cobalt Heap. And so all I gotta do is flatten out this sticky tack stuff, put it on the bottom here like this, and then I can actually just stick it to this. This is magnetic, so this comes off, so I can actually have a couple miniatures going at one time, which is a really nice feature. And then I have this to work with. This rotates really easy. It actually comes with a light that I can screw in right there. So I want a little bit thicker of a brush because I have more area to cover. So let's see if I can get this wet. Yeah, I think this paintbrush is done. Alright, well let's see if I got let's see here. These are all too fine. I have a couple more of the other new ones. That's a fine one. This is a thicker one, but it's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so let's do this one. This will work. We'll just push that right up against the V. It's almost like a V, right, on his body. I have to check and see what color his shoes are, because I'm not quite sure what color those are. I like the way that red's looking on them. I don't know if I'll do wash on them or not. If I do, it's going to be very light. When Hanna and Barbera made this character, they obviously went with some very simple color schemes. I assume that they obviously had to draw them and didn't want to take too much time, so they just did whatever was simple that looked decent, right? Looks like a guy in a clown suit. You know, like when it comes to like Hanna-Barbera or Walt Disney, it's like what led those guys to want to do things that could pique the imagination for children, right? Because cartoons they're more for children, obviously, but obviously there are adults that really like them, especially nowadays because they grew up. It's nostalgia. And so what led them to want to do things like this for children? Because obviously there wasn't like, everyone in the world was doing it. I'm trying to get that leg. Angle is weird. I do have an angled brush though. But I usually pull it out at the last resort. There we go. Maybe I should have colored what we call it a bib, the collar. Should have colored that first, just because of touch-ups later. It's been easier for me to paint around the collar and touch up with the red than it is to do with the orange. Almost out of red. Sticking really nicely to the figure, to the primer. That's what you want, obviously. Might have to touch up the black a little bit on the front. Very, very slightly. We'll see. Maybe if I put some wash on it, I'll just blend it in. Well, the nice thing about painting these figures based on the color scheme that I see is that, I don't have to do any dry brushing. I don't have to do any specific detail work. It's very simple. But on the other hand, it's like I enjoy dry brushing and how making things look really nice and pop. And so it's kind of sad a little bit too. And so he looks pretty good. Sure, I got everything covered. He is going to the paint will shrink some when he dries. I can see where it's starting to shrink here. I almost missed that, huh? It looks good. Alright, so while he's drying for a moment, I will go ahead and paint Velma's skirt because it is red as well. Painting the underneath, just to make sure I can get it first. And then I think her glasses are black, if I remember correctly, the frames. But that'll be something I'll paint later, just because I want to make sure I paint some of the other things around her face. You know, and her hair maybe a little bit before I dive into her glasses. That way I just have some contrast to look at when I'm painting. And obviously her socks are orange and her sweater is orange. Again, very simple color schemes. Schemes. So there's that. Now, I don't think Shaggy has anything red on him. Yep. Clean off this brush. A lot of red in there, look at that. I just drop it down. It's kind of neat. Neat little gadget. Got it on Amazon. There we go. His hair almost looks like it's the same color of his outfit. His nose and his mouth are almost like a reddish pinkish tint. Almost like a peach color. So I think for his hair, I'm going to add a little bit of red with this orange and mix that up for just his hair. Slight drop of orange. I can open it. This is the WizKids D&D Prismatic Paint. This is Orange Fire. There we go. I'm going to try this Orange Fire for the orange on him because I think it's going to stand out really well. So let's use a not so good brush to mix that up. There we go, that looks pretty good. Then I need to go back over his shoes with black apparently. Woo, look at that. So I will take this brush and I'll go over his shoes with black. So I'm looking at setting up the cameras a little bit different, so that way you can get better angles of when I'm painting. I actually have a camera stand that connects to the table, and I'm looking at taking the camera that's right now that you can see out of, connecting to that way I can actually move it around the table for doing various things when I'm doing playthroughs or live plays or even just simple unboxings. And it'd be great for doing miniatures. I almost want to paint the bottom of his shoes brown, just that way there's some contrast there. You can see where the red paint on his leg is starting to shrink. So I'm going to go back over that. Yeah, not bad. But I do need to add some black to this guy though, because his face is black other than where his eyes and mouth are. feel too much more blacker than I wanted. Alright. That way I can paint the orange on his face. That guy doesn't stain very well. It's a bad made miniature. And that red really travels. It's going to travel up the line. Alright. Let's try to color. Is his hands the same color as everything else? What color is his hands? His hands are about the same color as... Well, they're a little brighter or darker, brighter orange. A different kind of orange altogether than what is on the front of him. It's a little different color in his hair. Alright, so we will color the balls. Let's do this. Woo-wee. Looks pretty good. Color the top ball. Right. That was his collar, the same color. Yep. Pushing it right into the crevices there. That's what I got so far. Oh, come on. No, not focusing very well is what I'm trying to say. Got a little too much paint in there, looks like. Alright. Alright. It's coming along. I'm going to do his face first. Don't want to waste too much of it. Don't have a whole lot of white left. I need to get some more. Alright. So I guess I can use this brush. See if I can't push that white around. I'll save the touch-ups until the end, because if I keep going back over any touch-up area and I make a mistake later with another color, I just gotta retouch it up. So, smarter just to wait. I can't paint his eye too. Alright. And can I paint Freddy's shirt? Get a bigger brush to do it. I want to use that white before it dries. For some reason, the whites that I use typically dry much faster than some of the other colors I used for some weird reason. Well, I wish I had some green stuff, because Freddy's got a crease where his arm was put together, and that would hide that. But oh well, nothing I can do about it now. Almost like you can't even see that I'm coloring his shirt white, because obviously the primer is white. Well, that's good though. Alright. Let's see if I can't color this clown's hair. The color's about dried up that I mixed up. So start using it much sooner. There we go. A little touch up there on his collar. Now I gotta find the color for his nose and mouth. Alright, so let's do this for his nose and mouth. Yeah, looks pretty good. I like these paintbrushes, that's for sure. Now the question is, do I need to paint the inside of his mouth white or black? Make it look like a ghost kind of appearance, right? Ghosty black in his mouth. Alright, let's see if I can touch up his mask a little bit. Looking pretty good there, sir. See where I need to touch up, or add more paint, should I say, to his mouth. A little piece of the corner of the mouth that got missed. There we go. Yeah. Looking good. Alright, now let's touch up some more black. And the last thing I gotta do is make sure that anything that needs to be touched up is touched up. And then maybe add some dry brushing. Sorry, not dry brushing, wash. Gosh, I don't want to dry brush him. There's nothing to dry brush. I got some red though. Some places where it shrunk. Right in there. Right in there. Looks like his hands. What about his hands? Well, I guess I'll just do what I can with what I have, right? There we go. Looking good there, sir. Keep saying that. He's about done. Where did I see I need to touch up some red right there. Red right there. At the back of the collar where I brushed it earlier when I was trying to paint the hair. Push it, push it, push it. There we go. You can see some white that I missed. Or it shrank, one or the other. And he is done. Let's go ahead and there we go. I'm going to paint the base black, and then I'll touch up that point on his mask or whatever. But then I will seal him. That way he's ready to be played with. That's it. Let's see if I can get a closer view for you guys. There you go. Alright. Actually, I almost forgot the most important part. Well, not the most important, but the finishing touch, right, is to add a little bit of wash. So I'm going to do that by watering it down, right, because I don't want it too thick. And then I'm going to start at this back, right. I'm going to kind of move up his arms, move down his arms, move into his hands. Kind of add some definition in places, just because I want that definition to be seen. Black, water, heavy on the water really. Just down into the crevices again, like you see here. I'll get a close-up view here in a second. I just don't want this stuff resting for very long. I want it watered down so it can move. Just because these characters, are just very bright and vibrant in general, so they don't need a whole lot of wash. I'm just doing it for visual effects, more or less, right? Because obviously there's some creases in his outfit. I want his hands to have some definition to it. Don't want that resting very long. Maybe a little bit more on his nose, though. A little too much on his hand. Move it down, get some off. Move it quick, move it quick. I want it in places, especially right back here where there's a crease. I want it right there. So I think I'll do a little heavier right there in those places. Add some water, move it fast. Move it fast off his back. I'd like it around his collar to fill in some of those gaps there. Almost out of this bottle. I believe I have some more. Add some water, move it fast. There we go. Fast. There we go. Yeah. Oh boy. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure it's not pooling anywhere, because I don't want a pool of wash anywhere, especially on these miniatures. Yeah. Sure it's right there on his hair, so his hair is defined a little bit. So maybe get a little more on this sleeve there, because there's a crease there I want to show. A little too much on his hand. Into the, where the hand meets the sleeve. There we go. Alright. Now you can see him. Maybe you can see some of those creases I was talking about. It's right back on his hip, maybe. Yeah, you kind of can. But then there's a crease right here. You can kind of see. I think I'll add a little bit of orange, like to just the tips of the balls to make them stand out a little bit more. And that will be it, other than finishing off the base and then sealing it. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this painting of the Ghost Clown from Scooby-Doo the board game. Alright, hey, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.